Silver 4. Right. And is this your first season, second season, 12th season?
First season. I started when the coronavirus happened.
You just started. We got a fresh player, everyone. So let's cultivate a sense of healthy addiction.
And it's a fun time. Should I be watching from the Twitch stream, or is there like a separate thing?
There's a slight delay. I can give you one here as well. There's no mouse in the Discord, but it'll be more in real time. Okay, so what champions do we like to play? How has jungle been for you this season? What do you want to achieve?
All right. So, okay. So, wait. Sorry. Can you repeat what happened? I didn't. I was switching.
What champions do you play? How are you finding jungle?
So I'm a Dirty Ekko one trick, and he's the champion I have the most experience with. After that, I've been learning Kane because he's sort of like my second pick if Ekko gets banned. But I've really been trying to learn a more invasive jungler like Kindred because as Ekko, I feel like my early game is kind of weak and I can't really invade well because if the enemy jungler is high health, I really don't do any damage.
Yeah, no, with Ekko you really scale like an absolute monster, and even back in the day when I was playing this like season 6, season 7, the biggest issue I would have is you sometimes cannot get on the map quick enough. And what happens is you end up just feeling like a bit behind, I guess. And you get fed to the point that you can actually do stuff, but you end up in the situation where you haven't done enough early. And I pre-skimmed this. And so chat will be nice about being an Ekko one trick. It's okay. The fact that you said dirty means you acknowledge this champion is very...
He is very, very safe.
Yes.
Like, unless I mechanically screw up, which I do a few times, it's almost impossible for people to come kill you, which makes dying on Ekko even more, like, impactful. If you die on Ekko, like, you're pretty much very behind.
Yes. You can get very behind, exactly. And Udyr, how comfortable are you with the matchups? Like, knowing what other junglers do and things like that?
This was the first time I played against a good Udyr, but before, when I entered this match, the only thing I really knew was he's a monster early game, he has good objective control, and one of his abilities stuns you, so I brought Tenacity as my second rune page.
Okay, so let's see, we got here Tenacity Triumph, we're going Harvest as always, Ravenous. Yeah, I don't think you had to. I know there's people that do Triumph Alacrity and build Nash's Tooth and stuff like that, but I don't think you needed to worry about Tenacity. I don't think you need to change your rune set for Udyr. I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Oh, they also have Ahri and Yuumi, so a good amount of CC.
The Yuumi's Qs are slow though, so I mean, yeah, I can see it, but at the same time, I feel like it's playing it a little too safe because you should be getting Merc Treads, which will be more than enough for the charms and the stuns. So why do we place control? Why do we place our level 1 ward up here?
So I switched to an Oracle Lens for my first clear gank, and so for me it's a free ward, and it helps prevent invades. And I don't know how strong their invade potential is, but since I know Udyr's strong level 1, I didn't really want to risk an invade when I could just ward for free.
No, the ward is great. I'm just saying the locations probably you're not getting the most value. The classic is to place it in this pixel bush, we call it, either side. You see, like right here. This will give you way more value because the Udyr is going to run through the river into your buff. He's not going to run. It's very likely he does blue and then loops around. This would be coincidental if you actually got detected on that. So.
Oh, I was thinking of a pre-buff invade, a very early one.
Level 1, yeah. But even then, I think if instead of standing where you're standing, if you're standing next to the red, or here you've got the Wukong there, you can stand here. You should be fine. But yeah. The logic is good. It's just the positioning. I would look more to river and things like that. And then when I'm waiting for the buff, I would actually wait on the buff. I don't think you need to be this afraid of him. Because level 1, he doesn't have a stun. He just has Q. And while it's a lot of damage...
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He doesn't get 2 abilities. I mean, I know he's not really a real champion, but... Okay. So what kind of clear do you like to do? And I'll give you a note on your at the end of the clear, but...
So I note that Udyr started topside, so I'm planning on doing a full clear into Gromp and forfeiting Scuttle since I don't think I can contest Udyr. And I didn't know Udyr's clears. I didn't know if he would full clear or do 3 camp, so that's why I decided to go for the safe route.
Smooth. Very
Hey,
nice.
I got all 6.
There you go. That is satisfying. Very good. Yeah. I mean, you should be fine with Talisman. Make sure we're hitting the big one here because we have the AoE. Yep. It's good.
They all die at the same time.
Yeah, you've consumed a lot of content about that. It's good. I can see it. So for me, to your point, Udyr is a strange champion. He can do a variety of things early. He can become annoying, but that's very much the extent of his power. He is just irritating. He will solo objectives. He will try and get in your face to prevent you from scaling. And it only works if we sort of give him the keys. Right? It can be irritating, but as long as we keep our head, we can still keep control of the map. So my thinking would be to try and start opposite him so that I can guarantee myself 1 crab. I would not look to give up 2 crabs like you try to do. I feel like
I didn't know what side he would start on, though.
Yes, you didn't. No. You didn't. But at the same time, then you can adjust your first clear. So as soon as you're on red and you see him starting blue, you know you're starting the same side, right?
Yeah.
Which means you can always, instead of going Krugs, you can always do a full camp into the crab. And
so
yeah, that's 315. You time whatever the clear is best for you to get to the crab as it spawns.
So I could get to I think I could get on this clear, almost get to the crab at 315, but since I didn't know where he was, I decided to go for a Gromp instead.
You have lane cryo, which is nice.
That's definitely not 315.
No, it's not. Like if you didn't have Krugs, it's like say you did everything you did, but you didn't do Krugs. It'd be like what, 308? You'd hit this, okay? You'd be able to hit this and actually start to get vision control to see where he is. Because it just actually wouldn't be up yet, but you could at least be probing the rivers, looking to get on the map before he's there.
Mm-hmm.
This is something we're going to touch on. This is something we're going to touch on a few times because there's a lot of times you're, I think, too obsessed with where Udyr might be, so you stay in the jungle, rather than going to where you think he's going to be before he actually does. Does that make sense? He wants to do his camps and get on the crab very early, but you could have taken the crab already.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what we're looking to do. If he shows up to fight you for the crab, and you think, okay, I cannot beat him 1v1, yeah. Leave.
Disengage and fall back to Gromp?
Disengage and go to the other crab.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, or Gromp, yeah. I mean, if you have the... I don't know why you have a mid-kindred, but I have seen such things.
This mid this game was about the level of an intermediate bot. I think she was farming Spirit Blossoms rather than actually playing the game.
Yeah, it makes sense. But my point is, even now, you go to Gromp, I mean, you've got this right here. So even with your clear, which is a 5 camp, it does put you on the wrong side of the timer for the crab, but you can hit this to see what's up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a smite up, which you do, and should, you can very easily hit this, W the crab, and you'll burst it before he gets there.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have very easily done it. I think, don't be so afraid of the matchup, as Ekko especially, that you are just entirely assuming he has domain over the map. Because basically at this point you've folded already. You said, oh dear, please take the rivers. I will not fight you. And I think that's what you don't want to do that. Right? Because that ward denies him experience, gives it to you. Anything that helps you scale. And also prevents him sort of just wandering the rivers like a crazy bear turtle dog that he is. And even now, so now you go down. That's unfortunate. Make sure you hit this this plant sort of so that it cones over the river mostly.
Yeah, I saw the little Scuttle icon was still up.
Yeah.
And I was like confused. I was like, where is he? So I thought he'd still be down there. And I just missed him.
Yeah, you just missed him. But you see, the whole point for me, and this is sort of the foundation for your gameplay, is if you just go from the blue and investigate, right, can I do the crab? In this case, you could have very easily done the crab and fallen out. Very safely. You also need to look at these lanes. At the time when you could have done the crab, your bottom lane was shoving nicely. Now, in Silver 4, is your bottom lane going to recognize your fight and rotate? That's coin flip. That's a very coin flip. But if you have the lane prio and you have the timer, let's go. You know, there shouldn't be an assumption that you've already given it up, because You had no information that he was there. You had no information where he was. All you knew is that the crab was spawning. You could have done it after the blue, and your bot lane had prio to help. Which means I don't... Yeah, 100%. When you hit this now, you should get a cone that shows Udyr and the crab. Okay? You're level 4 as well, so you got a level advantage over this guy.
From the Krug.
Mm-hmm. Oh, because you did a full clear. Full clear gives you 4. And he hasn't done his raptors. Now, you are in no position to help mid lane. I mean, mid lane is a gankable lane pre-6 if you land a W. And with a Kindred slow, it should be doable, but not in this case.
Over here, mid trades and dies, and I guess that's it. It's a trade. Udyr was in the right place at the right time. It is what it is. I'm just going to recall and go back to top Krugs. Since I couldn't really gank bot lane Ezreal, and plus he died somehow.
Good job, bot lane. Very happy. They always get hooked, don't worry. No, I'm watching this because imagine the universe where you do the crab and you watch this trade happen and you are in the position to protect your Kindred. See, that's another thing. Maybe not in the situation, as you say. It is what it is. He's going up. But 100% you should have had the crab. And it's possible that if they go for this trade, instead of going back to your Grump, once you take this crab, you can now say, okay, so let's make it more realistic, right? So it spawns at 315. You finish your blue. What you should have done immediately is go for the crab. And then after that, what would you normally do? Like, say you got the crab here, what would you look to do?
I would look for a bot or a mid gank since I'd be at full health and mana and level 4. And if there isn't one, I'd fall back to Grump and recall top.
Perfect. Exactly perfect. So here, you could have actually been the one to make the play on the Ahri. Now. Like, say you're doing the crab, the crab's dead. This is not looking very gankable. She's got no mana. And at the very least, you burn flash. Which means, even if you don't get a kill, you are able to stop the Kindred from dying, put the lane in a good advantage, and also, while you might give up your Grump to the Udyr, because he's here, right? We don't know he's there, of course, until he walks over this ward. Once he walks over the ward, you know where he is. So you know exactly where he is, but you'd be here in the river. Now, you go mid, you gank the mid, the Ahri, say she dies, hooray, everyone throws a party, you push the wave with your mid, provided they don't tilt that you're doing that. You give them the CS and silver, you just say, here, I'm just sharing experience, please take the gold. What would you do then? Well, double crab, right?
Keep going up.
Yeah. Shove this so Kindred can reset and double crab. And all of a sudden, the Udyr is going to walk into the river. You've got ward in the tri-bush. You've got crab taken. He might go and probe to look to counter jungle you, but you lose crab for a gank, 2 crabs. Sounds like a good day to me.
And so I'm guessing like the main takeaway from this first clear, the main mistake was not checking and like being a little too afraid of Udyr.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's as I put in the Kindred video yesterday, I said, get on the map or be jungle gapped. Now it's facetious, but it's very much centered around your team might say, oh, jungle gap just because jungle diff because the enemy is ganking, even if it's their fault, right? It doesn't matter whose fault it is. It's more the principle of if a jungle is like 7-0, there's got to be something he's doing that's letting him get into those situations, you know? And we don't want that for the Udyr. So you went up top again. We have scanner, so I think it might be prudent. I mean, we don't know the wards situation, but if you're gonna do this, let's scan as we hit the tri-bush and as we lead up to the gank.
I think he was pretty pushed, and I never saw him like go near the river, so I was pretty calm. I think like a few seconds later I do scan, but I don't really remember it.
There we go, yeah. Unfortunately he goes, but it's more the principle, right?
Ward.
Yeah, there was a ward, you're standing on it. And actually can we see who placed it? Malphite, there you go. You can do this in game as well. If you click a ward in game, this will show up on the top left, and you can hover to see whose it is. So in this case, it's Malphite, which is good, because now you know that he's used it. So it's down. So once you clear it, you're good. If, however, it was Udyr's, you say, okay, Udyr did the crab and placed it, now you know the Malphite might have another ward as well. But the Malphite's also placed this one here. He's placed both his Trinket wards at the same time. So it's just about scanning to see if they see you, because there's no point wasting time. But fortunately for you, this guy stays.
He should have been like 2 zip codes back, and I don't know why he stayed.
Nah, he shouldn't have. That's fine. That's good. That's good. Okay, now we reset. What do you want to do now? So I'll say the first sequence, I think we covered everything pretty well. You could have definitely been the guy to get the double crab. I will touch on one thing. I don't know how often you do this, but we know that the Udyr started on the blue, right?
Yeah.
And he immediately does all his camps and shows up. The first time you see him is here. And he has 20 CS. 20 CS. Which means he left 1 camp up. And because he's looping around here, it's most likely he did Krugs and he didn't do Raptors. But that's basically an assumption you have to make from watching very carefully. However, most of the time, 99% of the time, someone will do blue into a Gromp. The only champions who won't will be things like Ekko, Hecarim, maybe a Mumus who want to do blue, Raptors, Wolves, Raptors, Red, right? They're looking to do the 4 camp clear. Those champions might leave the Gromp up. But in the case of Udyr, it's very common if he does blue, any single target jungler with a machete will do blue into machete. Blue into Gromp with the machete, right? Blue into Gromp. And they'll do that, and you know at around 4 minutes, 4:05, that second Gromp will spawn. Okay?
So I've done that in a few recent games.
Good.
3 XP,
very good.
Early level 6.
Good. So in my universe here, where you didn't do the Gromp and you killed the crab, you ganked the Ahri, we took the second crab, you see the Udyr running around in this area. If he goes up to take your level 1 crab, you say, come somebody down, thank you very much, I'm gonna go take your level 4 Gromp. You know, that's absolute free. Let's see. Let's see. Actually, let's for research. Wait, play. There we go. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Boom. 4 minutes on the dot. There's a level 4 crab after you take this. And he wouldn't be here. Right? This guy would now be here looking to gank bottom lane. Or take your Gromp because you would have gotten the crab. So that's something that would have allowed you to 5 camp clear, take Scuttle, gank mid, take Scuttle again, loop into his jungle, get his level 4 Gromp, and if the Udyr Inso does something stupid, you also get the Wolf Camp. Now the game's over, as far as XP is concerned. You're so far ahead. And that's the whole flow of getting onto the map first. I just wanted to iterate that. I didn't finish my thought process after the second crab, but I'm glad you said you're thinking about it. Okay. So that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to make sure we covered.
All right.
Go ahead.
So I've given Wukong a kill top, so top lane should be pretty safe. I'm now looking to impact bottom and mid. Since Udyr didn't show up when Malphite was at like 2 health, he might have already cleared top side, so I'm thinking he might be bottom side by now. So I'm going to farm camps and see if I can gank once I finish it.
Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you something else. The biggest thing I've been saying in my videos recently, specific to Season 10, is looking to make a play and reward yourself with camps. So your camps are there, right? They will be there afterwards. Is there a lane, mid or bot, that's gankable? Is Udyr top lane, so I can counter jungle? Is Udyr seen counter jungling me here, so I can dragon? Right? I'm not thinking about my Grump or my Wolves just yet. I'm thinking, is there something I can do as I'm leaving base? Now, you can sit in base, do your buys, right-click to where you want to go, and look around for 20 seconds to see. And I think that's huge. Because if you do that, and you know the Ezreal died, if it's pinged, I don't think, did they ping it? I mean, the Kindred pings the Ahri flash, so for you, that's great. So for me, I'm thinking, right, what lanes get a huge benefit at level 6? Definitely Ahri, because she gets now all her dashes. So I would look at this lane very carefully and say, right, can I gank her before she hits 6? It's unlikely, but if she was pushing in anyway, you should definitely directly go to that before you farm your camps.
Yeah, definitely. So I was pathing bot side. I see bot side's pretty safe, mid's pretty safe, so I hop the wall, go to Wolves, and start farming again. And at this point, Udyr might be on the dragon, so I go and check, and I see Udyr.
Yes.
And I didn't want to fight him 1v1 since I wasn't really confident I would win.
You have no bot prior either, so at this point, I like that you went and checked. It's unfortunate. I think he showed as you placed it, which sucks. Because if you see him, there's no need to place it because he's just gonna kill it. And the only time I would actually place this, if I saw him in my face, was if I had really heavy bot prior, so that if he decided to stick around, you just kill him, right?
Okay.
But yeah, that sucks for your control, but glad you're thinking about it. The RNG crab also spawns. He's gonna do this now. He's bot crab. She's low. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, so I just decided to forfeit the dragon and go topside and see if I can do something.
And so for me, the biggest thing is why I said look to make plays before you farm. It's because if a play was available, and I think you might have had one, could have gone directly to bot lane. You've got a Nautilus, nice CC, and an Ezra with no flash. So as long as you throw out your W and synchronize with the Nautilus hook, you've got something you can do here. But obviously in this case, the Xayah is not in a position to fight. So I think the reason I say go primarily to look for these plays is because if you get one, you get a dragon as your reward.
Yeah.
And even if you just go directly to the dragon and ward it, like say you went and warded it anyway, right? Just as you did, except you did it before wolves. Right? Now you can fall back into your jungle and now you can do Gromp, wolves, raptors, red, Krugs. You can do a full sequence up. And
linear pathing.
Cam sequencing, baby. It's beautiful. You just save yourself a little time because you basically did wolves, down, up, and now you're running back with no purpose. You know, it's just about saving yourself 10 seconds here or there. But I agree in principle with this. So we're going to be careful about this. Look at this Twitch chat. Don't complain to me that you guys can't path in silver. It's ridiculous. Look at this. It's beautiful. Look at this. I'm using you as an example to Twitch chat. The wave's pushed up. The fog of war's there. He's just going behind it. No one sees him. Saves himself some time. He's in the enemy jungle. Now, you knew they were on the dragon, right? You knew that, right? Like it was that Yuumi is disappeared. Xayah's going back to base. He cleared my ward. 99% he's on the dragon, right?
Yeah.
What could we be doing now to take he took something from you, your dragon. This is upsetting, right? So how do we punish him?
Ooh, I could probably counter jungle, but I was being a little too scared as usual. I thought he cleared his bot side jungle, so he'd probably go top side, but he would probably recall before then since he doesn't have health, so he wouldn't be there anyways.
He had Yuumi on him, so he's actually
so he could go
fine.
directly, but still, I could probably make it.
Yes, if you just took your pathing, which is very good. Your pathing was efficient if you were going to counter jungle. Like you literally hit the plant and stayed in the fog of war very nicely with the wave pushed. And instead of using that time advantage you gained to just quickly go and snipe his blue, you went up to your red side. And by the time you finish Krugs, he will be maybe like midway or finishing his blue. So basically, in the time you do 3 camps here, you could have at least taken this away from him and then gone to top lane.
And he was going to go there anyway, so that would have been like even denial too.
Yes.
Even better.
Waste his time. Waste his time extensively, yes. And we'll see. Like, what's the time? It's 7:07. So you're doing your raptors. Here he goes. He does this. You're on blue. You're on blue. You're on blue. You have smite. I think your read is 100% correct. He should go back to topside to take those camps. So we don't agree to overstay, right? We just blue and then we go and we just blue and go top lane for a gank.
Ooh, free gank.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not free. Would I hit level 6 on that on the blue buff?
Yeah, because you hit 6 in raptors.
Yeah, so even better.
You would have hit it. Yep. Use the plant too, and if you're low, you take the peaches, the fruits, and you know the Malphite. His flash is up, his ult is up, but your Wukong has both. I think you kill him, and this guy is none the wiser. So what he does is he does his raptors and ignores his level 6 wolves and goes straight to blue because he knows you might be taking it. But you know we could have done that. I'm in full HP because look at your resources now. Is there? And the Wukong goes in without you. Look at this. Like the Wukong does this without you.
I noticed they're fighting, so I like try to rotate immediately and help him shove since he's low.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Udyr, hello.
Yeah, it's good. No, everything about that was fine. Except we could have taken away the blue, got in the same gank, Wukong could have saved his flash. You deny the Udyr, and now you can fall back and do your red side, and then you can reset. Or you can reset and then go straight back to red side and Herald and so on. You have a few options depending on how it plays out. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, so far it's fine, but he's up on a lot of CS, you see. I mean, obviously he's getting free tax, but... Right, now what?
Alright, so I see my blue buff is up, and I'm checking bot lane, seeing if the lane's going to push back. Could you go to bot lane and check the state? Yeah, it's probably not going to push back for a while. Maybe like 20 seconds. So I'm thinking there's not really too much I could do top. So I'll just go take wolves, blue, and see if... I don't know. I can't really gank if I take that path, because mid, Ari has her level 6. Bot could be potentially gankable if Nautilus arrives and Ezreal's pushing, but Udyr might be bot side by then, so I'm not really sure. I don't really know what the best situation would be to do in this, what the best like choice would be in this case.
For me, my eyes are directed to what's the next objective, and that's the part of the map I want to float to. Because the one thing Udyr is going to do is solo objectives and do it quickly. Very, very quickly. So, I like where your head is at, and I'm commenting on the Herald because you actually end up heading directly to it.
Yeah, I changed paths midway through because I think I look at the map and I'm like, Herald's up. Udyr might be there. Is he?
Which is
time to go farm, I guess.
The problem is, right, if you're not going to do it, or you don't think you can fight over it, then there's no point to being here because there's literally no camps. There's no reason to be on this side of the map unless you're going to get this.
If I backed and...
Right? So if you're going to do this, and essentially look to do the Herald straight up, forgoing this camp reset, then you should be looking to gank lanes again. You're like, how can I create prio so that I can get the Herald? But as you say, this guy's level 7, he's hanging around, and he hasn't spent, he's got 1,000 gold, but it's not like he's that far behind. But you see, like, you wasted, okay. He distracted you, I think. You're like, can I fight you? Do I fight you? But you went straight to the Herald, and now you're like, okay, no, and you're leaving.
So over here, I tried to take the short path to blue side, but there are minions, and I'm like, Kindred, please shove them. But she doesn't, so I don't want to go to the blue side yet, because if I do so, Udyr goes, hey, free Herald. So at this point, I'm just like wasting time doing nothing useful, really.
Waffling, yep, you're just waffling. And you showed on the vision anyway. So the reason why I said the invade into the gank top into the shove is nice is because you'll get to reset with a decent amount of gold. Like, you don't need to stay out much longer. You can get your runic echoes. Then now you can actually head to the top side to look, to probe, to maybe do the Herald, and you've got all these camps otherwise. See, to do. But because you took all the camps off and you gank top lane, the only reason to be here is to go straight for the Herald. But it really doesn't make sense unless you have a lane to gank, to create prio, or someone to help you. And I honestly think at this point, you were right originally, just to make sure, okay, like my bottom camps are going to be up, bot lane could be gankable very nicely, maybe I have to give this up. But if he doesn't do it, you could very easily bot camp, bot quadrant, and then sequence up to it later. But you definitely don't want to walk somewhere with the intention of doing something, and then have nothing else to do. You know, it's just cross country. Nothing, I check, okay, now what? You know, like, there's no other purpose.
Being a warding totem.
Yeah, so you could have just walked behind at this point.
I could have, but I was like, oh no.
If you just went directly to blue side, blue Gromp Wolves, and then if bottom lane looks gankable, which it is now, you could go straight down there and get some plates and counter jungle.
Or even counter jungle, yeah.
Yeah, you do all of it, right? So that's a read. If you do this and bot lane is amazing and they get a double kill, they're all happy by themselves, then you can afford to go behind and say, right, RNG crab, Herald is up, top lane has no flash and ult, maybe we can make a play there and then Herald, right? The important thing is getting that Herald before the next dragon. But, you know, this is not in the flow. Because if you can't solo it and do it very quickly or beat the Udyr 1v1, you can't be there. You can't be there. Yeah, I think, yeah.
So I smite way too early. I think I panicked. And
yeah, okay, there's a little bit of panic going on here.
Because I'm still like scared of Udyr and his like 1v1 potential. So when I see him, like I really stop thinking for half a second, and after that I get my wits back.
I would have just W'd the crab. Just get the crab. First things first. Like, W the crab, EQ, auto smite, you should be able to get it. Or at least fight it. Like, you could have pushed it down, right? Because now you push it back into him. Like, you should have stunned it and then stood on the top side of it, so when it stops moving, carries are moving, you know, in about 10 seconds, it goes down. It goes down, excuse me.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Need some water. I don't think you needed to ult, though.
Yeah, I was still like mildly panicked. I ulted when there was no real point to.
He's dead. You can do it.
So over here, the reason I went top was because I used R and I wasn't confident fighting Ahri alone. So I wanted to create some top prio by chunking him.
You could have just started taking it. So, okay. So, let me, okay, Twitch chat, and you as well. Watch this, Duck. Watch this. This is the vision they have, right? If you, as Ekko, simply
Eat over the wall.
Eat over the wall, they wouldn't see you in the pit. And even then, you can walk across this wall without being seen and bring the Herald to the top side. Drag it up. Yep. Yep. But this whole time you could have been doing it.
Yeah, I was just afraid of an Ahri roam. I was looking at the tab and I saw she had like half an item and I had a full item, so I could probably do it, but I didn't know if I could do Herald and finish it in time with Ahri roaming before Udyr got there.
I think you are underestimating your champion and overestimating his. And also you can see her. If she rotates, okay, we just E out the back of the pit or run away, you know? Like that happens as junglers. It sucks. You start a Herald and everyone rotates but your team. Yeah, I feel you. Happens every game. Happens every game. Too bad. Happens every game. But now you see the Udyr thinks you're probably on it, or doing something else. So he's just gonna go straight. You see, he's doing what I told you. When you came out of the base here, I said go straight to look to gank, make a play, and then if there's nothing, you can fall back and sequence. He's doing the same thing, right? Out of base, I see top lane pushing. No F. No, his R is up. Let me go make a play. You see? Unfortunately,
you're gonna make 3 mistakes. I miss, I lose sight of him, and I fail to E to the plant. I made like 3 small mistakes in quick succession, and
yes,
I think this is where the game really gets like changed from 1 to 6 to double shutdown Udyr solo carry.
If you hit that Q, it slows him enough that you get out.
Yeah, or I could have even E to the plant then hit it.
True, but I don't think you needed to. If you just hit the Q, you're fine. But yeah, you could have also E'd. You had options, 100%, yeah. But in my universe, he's going top lane to try and kill the Wukong, and he's not going to be able to. You're just finishing the Herald, and if he does go on the Herald as Udyr, go on Wukong as Udyr, you're right there, right?
And Wukong has prio, and he has more health, so he could collapse.
Yeah, and then you can just, I mean, you could use a Herald. I don't think I would, but you could, yeah. Yep. I agree with you. I think that's worth talking about as a newer player, or maybe you're like this in other PvP games. I don't know. But when it's like shooters, for me, the thing is I'm fine until someone else shows up, and then I have to shoot them, and then the mouse swings, and I miss everything, and then I'm crying, and I'm like, why am I old? And it sucks. And in the case here, you run into the Udyr and you just freak out, you panic, you know? It's like, R.
And that's part of the reason I really want to learn an invading jungler, so I could actually like know enemy mechanics and actually know what their PvP potential.
Ekko's great. Like, you're reaching the point here with Echoes and an Amptum, you're reaching the point where you can start to do stuff. You really can. Like, you don't underestimate this power spike. Don't underestimate this power spike.
A lot more.
Yeah. You need to go into normals and just straight up int. Not literally. Before everyone quotes that and clips it. You need to go into normals, and when you see this fight, go on it. If you die, you die. But you need to try and understand, like, what is the output for Ekko at certain points in the game. Right? Limit testing. Guys, Ekko's inting. No, I'm limit testing. But yeah, 100%. 100%.
I think for this, like, a big part of the reason I lost was because I had no idea how I would fare in a 1v1, so I would always give up opportunities in favor of playing safe.
There's only one way to find out.
Oh, and here Kindred literally ends. watcher.
No, this is not a literal int. This is why junglers hate laners. There's a video I released last year about it. We are back going 0-10 and almost. Look what we've done. Yeah, no, see, this is where jungling comes into hand. And I did a private coaching. It had a very similar tone to this. So the Kindred is being ganked by the Udyr. The Ahri is going in. And you're on wolves. Because your first prerogative now is, I'm behind. I messed up a few times, I should farm. Instead of, hey, there's a dragon spawning. My mid lane could use a gank. Maybe we could get some deep vision and set up this dragon. My bot lane is doing very well. Maybe we could dive. You need to extend your game planning out of base beyond your own camps. You see? Like, you're basically saying, okay, let me do my camps, and then let's see what's up. Except, while you're doing that, Udyr's killing your Kindred. And also, just as a point, if you had left your wolves immediately, as you saw the Udyr, you'd be here in time with your Flash Smite and R-Up to kill the Ahri.
Oh, you're right.
Reactive pathing.
I got greedy for the wolves.
Yeah. And you're not even playing Kindred.
Hard.
You killed the wolves and let the enemy team kill wolf. And this is not a good day for them. But yeah, as soon as you see this, rotate and pick something up. This is what you're good. This is what you want. Dark Harvest stacks, kills, prio, help the Kindred get marks. Yeah. I mean, she grieves. But you grief unintentionally. She griefs intentionally. So like, now, hit this plant. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's going on. Because what do you see? Nothing.
I see Udyr going somewhere bot, so I'm like, hey, where's he going?
Well, let's hit the see, now you want to hit this, because now I am actually afraid of him with Warrior, and I want to not face check a bush. So now we actually really want to use this to see where he is.
I don't think he would have had time to reach the bush from where he was at.
Doesn't matter. Like, I want to see what's going on. Just what's up. And when you hit that and you see the raptors, click on them. Level 7. Okay. That's nice to know. Not so much now, but remember, the level 9 and up camps have boosted experience. Very nice little buff. See, now I'm thinking Udyr's definitely in this area. There's a dragon spawning. He could be looking to do something bottom lane into the dragon. I would be positioning myself to counterplay that.
So over here, do you think there would be... Should I have done something instead of farming?
Now you have no choice. But with the Kindred, yeah. You should be looking to get the lane first.
Alright.
Level 9 camps got a 5 to 10% buff a few months ago. So as a farming jungler, you want to farm your camps as quickly as possible to get them to level 9, so that they give you even more experience. That's why. So it's good to see, like, if you see a level 9 camp, and he's topside, you say, oof, thank you so much. Beautiful. Can't relate. Yeah. So here, so now the problem is your bottom lane went back, right?
Yeah, they were still pretty healthy. I probably should have pinged the dragon,
yes.
And we probably could have contested very easily, especially since Ekko's really good at team fighting. Like, I have confidence in my team fighting, just not one-on-ones yet.
Nah, he's 2 levels above you. This is what we wanted to avoid. And the counter jungling we talked about once or twice, the double crab, the flow into your own camps, into the Herald, this makes you the same level as him, right? It's all catch up. And the thing is, he got 2 free kills in the mid lane. So while top lane is feeling your love and thanking you for your presence, mid lane is cursing you. Because Udyr showed up twice and ruined their day. It's your fault, Ekko.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding, that's what they think. And bottom lane's thinking...
She did flame me, I had to mute her later.
There you go. It's not right, yeah, but they're gonna do it. And bottom lane, both bottom lanes are like, there's junglers. Junglers haven't been bottom lane at all. You should just leave, huh? There's nothing you can do. Like, you could be patient enough, but you can't outsmite him.
I could E-smite.
Yeah, but is that enough?
It happened.
I don't think that's enough to outsmite his.
I think it does 150 with dragon, so maybe 100 plus whatever I have. What do I have right now?
What do we think, Twitch? Does he get it? What do you think? Oh wait, it's on the scoreboard. Never mind. I forgot to disable the scoreboard. Rigged. Yeah, I don't, you know, if you're gonna go for a steal, I don't think it's this one. I don't think it's the third and the fourth one, but I don't think it's this one. Because it's low, if you're the same level, you could justify it. Nice roll. But because he's 2 levels up, even so, it's difficult. And I see everyone's rotating. Like, he's doing your crab. They're gonna come on down. Like, Kindred wards and doesn't even notice. So, yeah, I would contest this and fight this 100%. But no one's in position, so there's nothing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm the same level or higher, yeah, I would go for it. That's close. But now the Wukong TP'd for no reason. Yeah. See, again, this is the waffle phase. So you've had 2 big waffle phases. Because now you're like, oh, what do I do?
Guess I'm going top crab.
No,
Wait,
no, we're going
here?
Raptors. But yeah, you should be on top crab. You should be looking to top crab and kill Malphite. Straight through. Straight through mid, crab, Malphite.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can Herald. Now you can Herald. But again, like as you say, I think the biggest wood is you're too afraid of these fights because you're afraid of dying and losing. You see, he's going in. Like, we could have done crab and again, clean up. You know? And now instead of you being the one to, you know, bring home the trophy, Udyr just gets to walk up top lane with Ari and get kills. Which sucks. It's simultaneously not your fault and your fault, you know?
Mm-hmm. So when possible, try to rotate, even if it doesn't look gankable, just for like the potential all in that might happen.
That was prime ganking. That was prime gaming ganking. Because he was just pushing up on the wave. And you've killed him like 3 times already, so let's go kill him again. And the reason you do that is to create prior for the plates to take the Herald to try and get the Herald on the plates before they expire at 14 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about my camps right now. I'm thinking about crab, nice experience and a resource boost, killing this guy, trying to burst us down quickly with Wukong, and if he shows up, we just 2v1 him. Kindred's also here, and then try and use it on the plates. I don't think you get him in the plates this game, but, you know, watch the time for that. Yeah, it's common, huh? You're like, okay, camps, now what? Camps, now what? Instead of, what can I do? Nothing? Okay, camps. You know, reward yourself with camps. Don't let, you're not an AFK farming jungler. You're not Karthus. Yeah. Yeah. You could have just eat over the back of the pit. Okay, now they're contesting. Wukong has no ult.
I think the Rift Herald actually gets him.
Nice, back into your W. Now you get him. Kindred, come on, man. What are you doing? Kindred. I feel you right now. Kindred. Guys.
She's literally an intermediate bot.
There's a whole fight going on at the Rift Herald, and the Kindred's like, no. Minions? Yeah, you should be fine, right? You got smite? Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, so I E-smite it and get out safely.
Yeah, just walk away. Yeah, I mean, that's good for you to get some kills, but, you know, we're still really far behind.
Yeah.
I think I would go finish the Krugs as well.
I think I get item power spike, so since Krugs are...
You got a huge...
You know, I probably should have gotten them.
This is more my thing. I would just do it because you're going to reset. You're not going to go top side now. You're going to go bot side, so you would just remove them from the map. They're going to be up in like 10 seconds, so... Because this fight is... You could do nothing about this whatsoever. I'm watching it on the minimap, and you're like, oh, there's nothing I can do. The main thing is you just get as many resources as possible, reset, and now go down. Now, I'm not a Proto Belt player. I much prefer the Lichbane, Decap, Zhonya's build. Don't like Proto Belt, but...
I like the health and the...
Yeah,
it cancels your auto attack animation after you finish, so you get your second auto for your 3 burst a little faster.
Yeah, I know the combos. Yeah, I know. It's nice, but it's just not something I've ever enjoyed. I just prefer when I hit to kill. Like, you just go lich bait, it's like dead.
Yeah.
Less finesse, just more brute force, you die. Also because you have R for safety, so I guess it's this thing. But it's the same thing here, right? Like, mid lanes kill each other, Wukong rotates, Udyr immediately, reactively paths to the situation, picks himself the kills. You are making sure you finish the camps before you get there. But because he's immediately leaving, he's getting a lot of pickup kills, right? And I think that's what's costing you heavily right now. Alright, here we go.
I are way too early.
Yes, yeah, you do. Close though, but that's what I'm talking about. Now you know. Experience logged. Protobelt Runic Echoes does not beat a Triforce Warrior Udyr at level 12 unless I play it maybe very perfectly and he cancels an order. But, I mean, yeah. That's data logged, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you need to do that for all phases of the game. You need to know what you can beat. The biggest thing for me... Yeah, go ahead.
After this game, I learned Udyr does a good amount of burst damage with Triforce.
Yes. And now, because we're dead, we basically give them this dragon. Looks like GG's. Like, you will scale, and be able to do stuff, but the game state is just so beyond the rest of your team. Do you have any specific questions about... Because this is a 40-minute game. Do you have any specific questions about situations that occurred?
So, after we get Baron, they have, I think it's somewhere like around 30 minutes or so. So, Udyr is out of position. We kill him and get Baron. He's the sole carry on their team.
Okay.
But after we get Baron, since they have Mountain Soul, we're all down mid trying to like get towers. And, let's see. Can you jump to the Baron thing? I think it's at
I wanted just to look at this quickly. I wanted to see how you got this dragon.
Oh, we actually grouped up for once.
Hey, ain't that a thing?
Kindred was actually somewhere like reasonably close.
There we go. Oh no, she's bottom lane. It's not close at all. But
close
I think
enough.
She rotates.
She's on the right side of the map.
Well,
for the fourth dragon, she was on the entirely wrong side.
I mean, so the Malphite just goes onto the Xayah, and you turn to peel the Xayah. That's actually quite noble of you. That's Nautilus' job. But you've got a total all-in on the Ahri and the Udyr here. And the Kindred is just taking a 2v1, so that's actually good for you guys.
Like, thankfully she was bottom lane so she could draw pressure, and that was honestly enough for the fight.
Yep. You can just chase him down, you're good. Ah, good. We can rotate around the back. Yeah, this is good. I like that you switched directions and immediately peeled. That's what a lot of players don't do. What they'll do is they'll stay chasing, and then they will blame the support for not peeling. It's like, well, did you have the ability to peel yourself? Yes, well, why didn't you? Because the fact that you keep the Xayah alive through your own actions allows you guys to DPS this down very quickly. And if Udyr was alive, it would be huge that you did. So that's good. I like that. Okay. So we get a dragon, we feel good. Why do we lose this one, though?
So Wukong doesn't... I think our Wukong doesn't really know how to play from behind, and he really just... I think this fight was entirely lost through his actions. They got caught out, which is fine. We could, like, fall back. Oh, before this, Kindred was pathing topside and doing some weird stuff. So she was, like, entirely not close.
But it's the same thing here. Like, you're in your camps looking to do your camps instead of trapping with your team. Now, if your whole team is here and you're on Gromp, I can just say, look, Ekko, you should be with your team. But it looks like no one's really in position for this fight, which is unfortunate. This is why you throw, guys. If you're the Nautilus and the Wukong, this is why you throw. You don't have your team. There's no reason to go in. Yeah, there's no reason to go in there. You're on a ward, by the way. So.
I did not know I was on a ward, so that killed me.
Your scanner's up. Never sit in the bush at this point in the game, unless you have the bush scanned. Way too risky. Yeah, I mean, this is why, and I'm gonna tell you that as Ekko, I like playing it in this elo because in these situations you can apply so much pressure on side lanes. So the grouping isn't working. In my universe, what you should be is level 15, 16, 100%, right? And you should be just pushing lanes with the ability to 1v1 anyone. And now you can control the map tempo with that split push. Like Tryndamere, right? Everyone hates Tryndamere in low elo because he just pushes and no one can kill him. And he takes my towers and then I'm upset because we can't do anything because no one knows how to play around the split push. You can do that with Ekko as well. So while your team fighting is excellent, your whole goal should be looking to get fed and control objectives such that this doesn't happen where they have 4-1. And instead of this person or this person being in a side lane, it's you just really applying pressure and forcing 2 or 3 to rotate. And when 2 or 3 rotate, if you're really fed, you kill them all. If you're not, you run away. And then you just keep applying the split pressure and you can collapse in fighting. So I think as an Ekko player, you should look very heavily into those first 15 to 20 minutes where we talked about how those decisions that could have got you the lead to be quite fed. And then for your late game macro, you should look at situations, how to split push effectively. And you can look at it from a top laner's perspective, it doesn't matter. But I think you should definitely look into those, especially as Ekko, because if your team is refusing to group and they're looking like intermediate bots just to look at their pretty skins, then you're not going to be able to win team fights very easily. So you don't want to have team fights, right? The worst thing this game can do is you guys have team fights because you never have people ready. So the best thing you could do here is apply significant amounts of macro split pressure while also getting yourself really, really fed.
All right, so maybe like split lanes, get myself fed, tell the behind people to farm at camps.
Yeah. Get huge. Take their camps. Like the whole point for you is to be the highest level in the game with the most farm. And now, like imagine. Okay, so obviously you don't want to split push bottom side if there's a Baron, but say the Baron isn't in play, and you're now pushing this, and your whole team goes and collapses on that. You don't care. You just keep pushing this. And say everyone goes up to fight and it's messy and it's hilarious. You take this.
Probably an inhib tower.
Yeah. Which forces them to rotate and back. Which means even if they win the fight, they can't take anything. Because there's nothing on the map for them to take. Theoretically. But obviously if the Baron's up, you don't want to be down here, right? You want to be pushing mid and top. So I think looking at how to split push. Doing. Yeah. Exactly. And the dude's level 16 and you're level 13. It's exactly right. That's something as Ekko that's really underrated. Woo! Okay. But at the same time, if you get collapsed on because you're not split pushing correctly, like the Udyr, you die and you lose a Baron. So, split pushing guide.
Maybe would help when to push lanes as a jungler, when to not.
I had a video when to split push primed. Twitch chat will hate me for this. Primed at the end of last season, and I was Kindred, and we were turbo losing, and I was just shoving waves, and then backing. You know, like you never push beyond vision. You push a little bit, you back off, clear my camps, and I wasn't very fed, but I ended up with so much farm, and literally what I said happened. They all fought here, the bottom side. I remember the game; it was like a year ago, but I remember it exactly. They all fought at the bottom and died, and my team actually did decently, and I just literally inhibbed. And then I backed off a little bit, and they thought I left, so they kept pushing, and then went back in and got a Nexus turret. And then they all reset, and I just left again, took all their stuff, and reset. And by the time that had happened, my team respawned, and we can now group. And we actually had caught up pretty heavily. Or you can apply sort of weird other macro pressures, right? Well, you have supers. But the pressure you can apply as a split pusher as Ekko is huge, just like that.
Also, I think here that my itemization was slightly greedy. Since I died several times, I think I probably should have gotten Hourglass instead of Lichbane, which could have probably saved me a lot more. But then again, the game was already like sort of lost, so eh.
That's why I like the Lichbane decap void stuff, Zonya's build, significantly more than Protobot, because I love having the potential to annihilate anyone who displeases me. It doesn't, I don't like you, Udyr, I'm going to kill you. And because that build is so disgusting, it pretty much always kills someone. And with that build, if you ever have a split push, you 2-hit towers,
Protobelt is so cheap though.
Yeah. There's actually one of the people that's a D1 Ekko, he's a 2-trick, he mains Nunu and Ekko. He specifically also hates Protobelt for the same reasons. Like, just Lichbane Power Spike is so huge.
Alright, so what do you think of this situation that's unfolding in like a few seconds?
Well, I think right now the thing is this guy's level 17 with a Yuumi. You've got Ezreal on the bottom side dealing with this wave. You've got an Ahri split pushing. So they set themselves up a 1-3-1 which is impressive in Silver 4 Twitch chat, but I don't think they know what they're doing. Now, the way you beat a 1-3-1 is with a brute force 5-man destruction. You must kill these 3. So this guy should not be looking to assassinate him, and this guy should not be there. But if he died, then you guys need to wait for him.
Yeah.
Ping your team to back off, because look, he's level 17. So what you're doing is you're waiting for the Nautilus to rotate. You want the Wukong to be trapping like an assassin as he was, and now you just want a 5v3. You kill them, and now you just turbo shove and you win, because they're in the side lane and they're going to yell at their team.
Okay, I didn't think about that. The decision I made, the next decision I made was, I see like 3 mid. I see Udyr mid. I see Wukong bot. I don't think much progress is getting done mid since we're just like 4v like Udyr, which he could be like 5 people at this point. And so I decided to rotate down botwards to see if we can get something with Baron. And it doesn't pan out, and mid ends up dying.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave them. I wouldn't leave my team here. No. Because you've got the big cannon here.
Eventually the tower is going to go down.
Because from their perspective, they know you're not there, right? And Ahri, what you have to recognize is that Ahri reset. So she's going to join. So you and Wukong should be trapping. Just leave him. No one cares about this guy. You guys should be trapping, and as soon as there's a fight, now you can just totally backline, land a 3-man W, kill Ahri very easily.
Easily kill the tower.
Yeah.
Maybe get a big stun off.
Yeah, like I'd be trapped. Like, so the worst thing you guys did here, I'm assuming the Wukong is with you. No, what is he doing? An actual ape.
He was greeting for a red buff instead of diving with me.
Yeah, of course the red buff. We need the red buff. Yeah, this is the throw. This is GG. Because like, who cares? Who cares about him? he's nothing. You know, look at your ADC. 258 CS, 823. Look at their ADC. 125, 183. And he's not even in the fight. So your whole entire existence needs to be dedicated on knowing that as soon as Ahri arrives, Malphite's going to turbo engage, ult everyone. And, you know, maybe I'm expecting much, but I really do expect people to be able to flash a Malphite out at this point. There's enough time to do it. So the Xayah should be immediately laying her feathers, flashing out of the Malphite ult, dragging back those feathers to stun him, and then you can just land your E where the Malphite is currently, which stuns him and zones the entire enemy team. Then you guys can kill him, and now you have all the prio, because you're going to have a Wukong diving in the back line, and you can re-engage. And then it's an easy fight, 5v3. But because you show bottom lane, like, they don't make the decision because you show bottom lane, they make the decision because they don't see you. Right?
Yeah.
So if you were still there, this is great for you. Because look at Udyr's line of sight. He sees you bottom lane, he's like, Ezreal, we must help you. Ahri's thinking, do I really get another KDA skin only 2 weeks after I got another skin? This is wonderful, I'm so happy. And Malphite's like, I'm engaging team, why aren't you following? And you and Wukong should be like, this is absolutely beautiful. Look at the separation between target 1, the Malphite, and target 2, the Udyr. It's great. Look at the gap, Twitch chat as well. And look at the gap between Ahri and Udyr. Nice and split up. That's exactly what you want, but you're down here. And sadly, we missed the... And Kindred dies. And also, you fought without the Kindred ult. I think you need to look at the cooldowns and ping them to your team.
Oh,
so,
she did have Kindred ult, I think. Actually, wait.
I don't think she had it.
Oh, she didn't.
She did. So what you should be doing here is setting the trap and also pinging to your team Kindred ult. Like, ping the Kindred ult as a timer. Because you should be muting everyone as soon as they say anything that's not helpful. You want to fight when you have ults of cooldown. We've got Baron for a while. You know? Mm-hmm. No rush. You want to bait them on an engage here. This is perfect. Yeah, actually, I lied. They see you bottom lane, and that's why they engage. It's even worse. This is literally it. Malphite sees you bottom lane, it's like, okay. Immediately
literally
goes in.
My fault.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but at the same time, like, both of them have flash. They could have used it. Like, the Xayah should have done that, but it's you know, it's the Elo. I mean, can't expect too much. But yeah. Well, at least you got Ezreal. Oh, wait.
No minions. I decided to like fall off because mid died, and I decided to get the heck out because I do not see this ending well for me.
No, I'd leave. Yeah.
Bye.
I don't think anything else happens that's interesting, right? I think you guys try one more, but
Yeah, I flash out of danger into danger, and that really doesn't end well. So earlier Udyr was chunked, so he got into
Yeah.
our backline, and I just
Yeah.
meet a bear in the bush.
No. Yeah. Disruptive team fight with gaps. Both mid lane is not even in the area. They have a Malphite and a Yuumi. You don't have a Malphite and a Yuumi, and that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Your comeback was him. It's actually quite poetic. Us talking about how you split push, and then he does the one thing you shouldn't do as a split pusher is, die. Because you guys get Baron from that. If you play the team fight and they're 1-3-1 perfectly, you win the game off of it. Like, even though the whole game, we talked about all these little things, you still could have won the game. And now, instead of having a scrappy fight where you lose, this wave should be a super, even if you get an inhib and you don't win, this is a super wave pushing down. So you guys can all, together, be pushing the bottom wave, taking this tower, and then falling back to an Elder Dragon. Which, again, you don't want to do unless Udyr is dead, because he will outsmite you at this point. But you see how the natural progression flows once someone throws? The Udyr makes a mistake. You get a Baron, you get an inhib, you get another inhib, you get an Elder Dragon. All because he split pushed badly. But because we actually didn't team fight well at all, and we split up when we had an advantage, it basically amounted to nothing. But there's a lot of, the fact that you said you just started playing in the quarantine is insane. Like, the things we're talking about, the way we're talking about it is not normal for your level of experience, so well done.
I really enjoyed board games, and I feel like when I'm playing League of Legends as a jungler, I'm not really playing like one of those MMOs. I'm really just trying to like mentally outplay the jungler.
Yes.
Most of the time.
Yes. That's it. That's what you're trying to do.